Hey everyone, we're in the Maldives and we're doing a get ready with me. And I'm going to be discussing my TBRs that I have right now in the Maldives. TBR is basically just a to be read list. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be talking about because I've been really into reading and books and just the whole process of it. I've been watching so much booktube and book talk, and I just love the process of reading. It just feels like my brain is getting bigger every single time. So I'm just going to chit chat, talk, and speak about the things I'm going to be reading while I'm here in the Maldives. I see people do like monthly TBRs, but I've never seen somebody do a location TBR. It really enhances your reading when you are in a location that is alongside the book. So I am excited. I am like literally right in front of a beach, so it helps to read some beachy reads. And I have some other reads as well that I have on my list. I'm doing a little bit of a lighter makeup look today because I don't know, I feel like when it's just hotter weather and you're like in tropical time, like literally my screen is becoming humidified because of how hot it is. But I just love I love tropical weather. I love tropical weather. I'm low key being bit up by mosquitoes. Might as well be being bit up, but I'm getting bit up by mosquitoes. So it's all worth it though. I get to talk to the girlies and I get to talk about the things that I love. Reading, self-development, just everything along those lines. So let's get into it. What are my reads of this month? So first, I am going to read The Paradise Problems. I should have probably put the authors down. That's like very rookie of me to do. I have just recently been reading, guys, like recently got into the whole reading as a hobby thing. So yeah, I'm not all too familiar with all the exact terms. The first book that I'm reading, that I'm going to be reading while here, or this is all just like things I want to, you know? I think I'm being pretty ambitious with this list because so far this year, I have read so far 13 books. And like, that's the most books I've ever read in my whole life. The book I'm reading right now that I started on yesterday is called The House on the Cerulean Sea. Now, I kind of spoiled a little bit of it for myself, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I just know from reading the Goodreads description that it has some woke stuff in it. And then I searched it up, and it does indeed have some woke stuff in it. So, I don't think this is going to be a 5-star read. I got a recommendation from a girl previously from the same girl that recommended this book, and it was a 6-star read for me. So I was like, okay, this girl gave me a 6-star read. I know she's going to give me another good read. This book has some wokeness in it, and everybody's different, but I just can't with the wokeness. I just can't. I just freaking can't. So I don't think it's going to be a 5-star read, but I'm going to read it anyways. And it's kind of like fall right now in America. So if you're looking for like a it's not spooky. It's like fantasy. So it has like magical creatures in it. So I think it would be a good read if you want to read some sort of like magical fantasy book. I think it would be a good autumn read, but I am reading The House on the Cerulean Sea because it's like next to a sea. I'm next to a sea. I thought it would be fitting, and I'm 10% way through that book. And this is like my first fantasy book I have read since my like teenage years. So I have I hope it hits. I hope it's a banger because I kind of want to get into fantasy. Next, I want to read Eat, Pray, Love. I know the person that is the author of this book, and it is Elizabeth Gilbert. Basically, I've read one of her books, Big Magic, and I think I read another one of her books. No, I think that was the only book that I read, and that was a really good book. This book is basically how I think she was having a midlife crisis in her 30s. I've watched the movie, this is why I know that. She was having a midlife crisis in her 30s. She basically traveled to Indonesia, Italy, and India to basically find herself, I guess unlock the meaning of her life. I don't really know, but basically similar to the journey I am on. I'm not having a midlife crisis. I'm not having a quarter life crisis, but I know that travel and exploring the world can open a lot of things within you to grow. So one day I am going to be writing a book, and I love that I'm getting into reading because I want to read some of the most popular books to see what really is drawing people to these books, what similarities do they have, and like all that stuff. So that is exactly why I am reading not only so much, that's not the only reason. I genuinely enjoy reading both fiction and nonfiction. Right now I'm on a big fiction like marathon, it seems like. And I know that the things that live past people are books, right? The things that we remember are the books we read in school, the books we read, our textbooks, like all of those are going to live for years and years and years beyond yourself. And at the end of the day, I want to think about my legacy and my mark on the world. And I know I can do that through books. And that is why I'm reading like books, a lot of books, whether it's nonfiction or fiction. So I want to read Eat, Pray, Love to see what made it so popular, but also just to see how she was telling her stories and all of that stuff. And maybe it can give me some sort of inspiration. So not eating, Eat, Pray, Love, reading Eat, Pray, Love about that. The second read that I want to read is The 5-Star Weekend by Ellen Hildebrand. So I read 28 Summers a couple months ago, and it was really good. I really liked Ellen Hildebrand's like the way that she was writing. I really loved that, and I really loved the book in general. I was just like, this is a really good book, and it really gives summer vibes. Like Ellen Hildebrand is known for making like books around the is it city, town, whatever place in America called Nantucket. And it just gives really good beach read vibes. It's very light. It's not like something that you need to take like, oh my gosh, a whole bunch of brain power to, build a world or anything like that. It's just a really light read. And I want to read it because, again, the girl that recommended me a 6-star read, which is The Nightingale, which I recommend everybody freaking read. Book is amazing, life-changing. I couldn't stop turning the pages. Don't even like overthink it. Just read it. It is so good. Literally my top book I've ever read in my whole entire life. It made me cry. It made me like smile. It made me barely smile, but it was a very like amazing book. Let's just say that. And it teaches you a lot of lessons, I would say, in that book. Life-changing book for sure. But anyways, that girl that recommended me The Nightingale, she also loves Ellen Hildebrand. And if she gave me a 6-star read, I'm like, let me see what other book she's gonna give me and see how high I'm gonna put on my scale, because I think we might have similar reading styles. And what I love about starting something new is also like seeing what you actually like, and that's what I'm getting with reading is I'm seeing what I actually like. So it's going to be very easy for me to, gravitate towards the books that I know that I will like more. So I'm really enjoying the process of that. And then a book that I'm currently reading, I'm 20% in, is Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. I followed Tony Robbins for a long time, been to a couple of his seminars and stuff like that. I just really like the way he teaches about life mastery and becoming your best self and unleashing your inner greatness. So I wanted to read his book because he doesn't make things super complicated and complicated with the jargon or anything. He gets pretty straight to the point, but also he makes it very simple. Oh my gosh. Why are the mosquitoes here so awful? Oh my gosh. What is the cost of this video? Anyways. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm gonna get so bitten up. This is crazy. But anyways, I should have put a mosquito spray on. I love the way that he simplifies things and concepts, and he gives examples that makes you understand the topic. So you're not just reading, you're like understanding it. And in the book, I'm going a little bit slower with that book because it's not a book you can just go through. It's a book that has, things that you journal, you actually do in your like in real time. And I love that about the book. So it's been kind of a slower read, definitely way slower than a fiction book, but I absolutely am loving it so far. It's showing me so much about change and what it actually requires to change something. And one main lesson that I'm getting right now in 20% of the book is that how to change is to change your relationship with pain and pleasure, because humans are designed to run away from pain more than they are to go towards pleasure. So if you change the relationship of the things that you're avoiding or the bad habits, and for example, like smoking cigarettes is something, or a lot of people nowadays, a lot of young people nowadays, they have an addiction to vaping, right? How you can stop that addiction and stop that bad habit is that you can see that instead of seeing vaping as something that is giving you pleasure and is, helping you with your anxiety or helping you with your calmness or whatever that it is, the reason why people vape. Instead, you can see it as something that is actually painful, and it's something that is going to give you long-term problems. I know people get respiratory problems from vaping and all this stuff, and focus on that. And he even gives an exercise so that you can go deep down and actually see that habit as a negative thing and see it as a painful experience. And once you see things as more painful than it is pleasure, then you will actually start to break that habit and you will actually start to create real long lasting change in your life. So that is basically what I'm getting from the book so far. I absolutely love self-development books, and I just feel like, again, getting smarter every single time I open the dang thing. So, Awaken the Giant Within is what I'm on right now. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it by the time I leave here. That is my goal, but I really don't want to rush that book. I really want to make sure that I take in everything. Now, the next book that I'm going to be reading is The People We Meet on Vacation. Oh my gosh, guys. I just finished Abby Jimenez. I forgot what the series is called. Oh, the Part of Your World series. And it's basically a three-part interconnected series. And you don't have to read the books connected. Like, you don't have to go 1, 2, 3 in order. You can read them, like, they can be a standalone. But I just recommend highly reading them together. Oh my goodness. I love Abby Jimenez's way of writing. Like, it's just so good. And I love her storytelling. So I've really been enjoying like her as an author, and I've never in my whole life, never, except for maybe Dork Diaries. And I don't even think I finished that because I think they made a lot of books after I left middle school. But I have never, ever, 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 ever finished a book series. Like, I'm telling you, the way it turned 180, and I am now a book lover. Obviously, I could be reading more, but I honestly have other things in my life too that I enjoy and do as well. But I have never read a book series, so I finished that series, and oh my god, it has been such an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. So I love series now, and I want to read more series. So I want to read Emily Henry's series that she has going on right now. I don't really know what it's called. I have read Beach Reads, and it was so good. It was so amazing. For some reason, I started People We Meet on Vacation, which is the second book in the series, and I was just not understanding it. Like, I was just not understanding it. I am gonna go back to it though, because I don't think I was just in the mood. I think I'm a big mood reader, and I have to be in the mood for a certain thing. And I just think I wasn't in the mood to read that book or read romance. So yeah, I did not. But I'm gonna go back to it, and I plan on reading that as well. But yeah, that is basically all the things that I plan to read while I'm in the Maldives. I'm here for a while, so I'm very excited to get into these books. And I would say for the books that I'm reading so far, really, really, really good. The last book that I read was actually Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and that book was so, so, so good. So good. I think honestly, that was my favorite book of hers. If we're talking overall, I really loved Yours Truly. Like, I really, 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 really loved Yours Truly. Really love as well, like Just for the Summer. And I love that book because I think it was different than the other two books she had in these series, the Part of Your World series, because that one had a lot more lessons. Like, I want to read my highlights. I need to read my highlights. Let me finish this lit first. But I want to read my highlights of the book. The book basically is about two people, right? And they basically have a curse, and whenever they date somebody, the person that they basically date next gets in a relationship. So they basically have this curse, and they get together so that they can break this curse because they think dating each other will cancel it out. But in actuality, a different thing happens, and they plan on dating just for the summer so that they can break that curse. But and then you read along their journey of going through that. So it was a really amazing book, but they go through things separately. I think there was just a lot more like things they were going through separately that made there have a lot of lessons, if that made sense. So that was a really amazing part of the book. I would 10 out of 10 recommend it. I would recommend watching the series from the start. And yeah, that's what I would say. And I am basically done with my makeup look. I don't want to do too much today. This was like my first day coming back from makeup. I went to South Korea to get skincare, and we just did a lot of traveling and overcoming jet lag. So we are back at it now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna kind of keep it short. I'm excited to make more videos because I am really, really excited to get back to YouTube. Oh, I forgot to do eyeliner. I'll just do it off camera, but I'm really excited to get back to YouTube, just talk about the things that I'm doing and talk about the amazing things I'm doing on the journey of traveling and my growth journey and everything. So I'll see you on the next video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and I don't know, share it with your bestie. And I'll see you later. Mwah.